Hello and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events, recording this Thursday, October the 25th, just before 8 o'clock in the morning. 25th. 2 months exactly until Christmas. Time is flying by. We got Halloween next week. We've got Thanksgiving coming up on the 22nd, I believe. So less than a month away for Thanksgiving. Then we'll get the Christmas trees put up. Don't forget the time change as well. It's a good idea to start reminding everybody. We got a lot going on over the next couple of weeks. It's not this Saturday night. It's the following, I believe, November 3rd, 4th, technically. We fall back 1 hour, so don't forget to change the batteries in your smoke detector, carbon monoxide detector as well. And, of course, we got Race for the Cure coming up as well. Trying to keep it dry for that. We had that big 3-hour-long Saturday daybreak special edition from the race that's coming up on November 3rd later this year, which means probably colder. But that's all right, because usually once that race starts, you forget about the temperature. And you know what? It never rains on Race for the Cure. It doesn't. It has not ever since I came back home. I say it every year. It does not rain on Race for the Cure. All right, I want to go over some things with our rain chances, and I know trick-or-treaters need to know about the Halloween forecast. Parents need to know about it, making costumes or buying costumes, whatever it is that you're doing. By the way, I'll have my costume coming up Saturday daybreak. Of course, it is weather-related. First of all, let's talk about the 2018 rainfall and a couple of things about the 2018 rainfall and the yearly rainfall so far in averages. You can see how we started January off very dry and cold. Remember, in January, let's go back in time, back to the future. And do you remember we had, I think it was the coldest temperature in Little Rock in more than 2 decades? I think it got down to 7. I'll have to go back and look at that. But anyway, so January is dry and cold. February came, and boy, that was record-breaking. Then it dropped off a cliff, the rainfall amounts. I mean, we went to 3 point whatever inches. Then let me pull this up here. There we go. Then we went up in April to just under 6 inches. Then May was incredibly dry. We got into May and we got into June, and I thought, boy, with less than 3 inches of rainfall, this is going to be a horribly, horribly hot summer. I thought we were going to get drought. I thought it was going to feed back, and then we were going to be in store for an extremely hot summer. And I'll admit when I was wrong. Joe Bastardi said, no, I think it's all going to turn. And he was right. Look at July. Every month since May, look at this, has been wetter than the previous month. This is a point I want to make here. Every single month since May has been wetter than the previous month. 2.46, 2.86, 3.29. August, 3.59. I had mushrooms growing all over my neighbor's yards. Not in mine, thankfully. Actually, I did. And then we had that, was that right? 7.02, I think it was the 12th wettest September on record. Well, if I've done this correctly with a week to go in October, less than a week to go in October, 6.6 inches. So, I would say that we're going to have 0.42 of an inch at the minimum coming up next week. And the timing of this is lousy. However, don't get too worried just yet. Let's look at the averages. And this is something that somebody on Twitter, I put this out there, and they said, Todd, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. This is not true. Well, numbers don't lie. This is the 30-year running average. And this is the average rainfall for Little Rock. Again, based upon 30 years. November, which we start next week, is the wettest month of the year. People said, no, it's got to be springtime. According to the 30-year averages, these numbers don't lie. At least the last time I looked at them. November barely eclipses April. April, 5.14 inches. November, 5.28 inches. So remember, November, the cold November rain. I should have gotten a little Guns N' Roses, a little GNR to play for that. All right, using the European and the GFS, going to go through the rainfall possibilities on Halloween. And it's been a while since I've shown these maps, just to show you what we're looking at here. These are models. It's guidance. The black lines are isobars, lines of equal barometric pressure. You see the enclosed black line here. This is valid next Tuesday, the 30th in the morning. You see low pressure forming here in eastern, or rather western Kansas. Let me make sure I get my locations correct. And then you see, okay, so those are the black lines, isobars, lines of equal barometric pressure. So the closer those are together, the windier it is. And you can also make out where the areas of low pressure at the surface, low pressure and high pressure is located. You see that blue line? That's the 540 thickness line. And if you've been coming here to the Arkansas Weather Blog since we started this more than a decade ago, you know that 540 thickness line is usually the demarcation between rain and snow. Never perfect, but it's a good idea. It gives you a good general idea. It is, as you would expect, you get into the cold season, it makes its appearance into the country. Snowpack is building across the Rockies, yada, 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 yada. High pressure here in the Smokies. No Smoky Mountain rain, but we're getting the return flow, moisture, warmth increasing. This is, again, the European computer model. Here comes the front. It's like this coming up on midnight on Halloween. There's Halloween morning. Now, let me explain what you're looking at. The green blobs is showing you how much rain over the previous 6 hours. Very, very important. Over the previous 6 hours. And these are all light amounts, but like I said, 42/100ths of an inch probably, or more. Just based on climatology here of this year. This computer model was winding up a system and bringing in the beginning of November. This was yesterday's run, so it's been a little erratic. Was showing a big severe weather potential. Today, not so much. So you're getting run-to-run inconsistencies, which is very, very typical. Because, you know, as we go from, you know, the dawn of weather modeling to 2018, you would expect them to get better, right? No. Anyway, that's a whole other story for another day. So this is Wednesday, which is Halloween. This is the time period from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And so it's showing in the afternoon, the front, and it looks like a light to maybe moderate rain during the day. So let's look at 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. on November 1st. That's the trick-or-treat time period according to the European computer model. Yeah, it looks like at least the eastern Arkansas, according to this one piece of model, that's several days away and is going to change. But to show you where we're at, it does show that there's a chance for rain. Probably less so across the western half of the state, according to this one run of the computer model. And I'm going to show you the GFS for Halloween in just a second, but also want to show you something that the European is doing that I'm not quite on board with. It has that system pulling away, and then this is Race for the Cure right here. Big low up here north of the Great Lakes, strong cold front trailing, and you see that 540 thickness line diving south. Now, just because you see the 540 thickness line diving south does not mean snow. No, it just means cold air. There's no moisture. This is cold. This would be cold and windy. I mean, this would be a brutally cold, not brutally cold, but it would be a very cold Race for the Cure. But I'm not on board completely with that. Let's go to the GFS, which I like to call the GFS model. However, it's got a fairly close idea with the low pressure out here in Kansas. Halloween morning. All right, so this is, let's just go to the noon. And it does this all the time. It just blows stuff up more than what actually usually happens. We'll see. Maybe it's on something. But this is from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., the amount of rainfall on Halloween. So in the morning hours. And it's showing quite a bit of rainfall. I mean, this would obviously dump enough rainfall that October would be wetter than September. So now let's look at the time period from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Halloween. Fronts to the state, you see the heaviest rain, South Arkansas. And then you see the time period from 7 p.m. on Halloween to 1 a.m. November the 1st. And it's dry. It's faster. Moving this through a little bit quicker, just a little bit. So there's some differences. There is a system coming through. I would not cancel any plans at this point whatsoever. Just pay attention. Let's see what's doing Race for the Cure. So it's got, you know, here's that surge of cold air according to the GFS. And yeah, it brings in some colder air on race day. It's not here for the race. Tries to develop rain. I would not trust this thing as far as I could throw it. And with my bad back, I shouldn't be throwing anything. All right, thank you so much for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. Just to recap here, by the way, if we don't get another drop of rain for the rest of the year, we'll still end 2018 above average with rainfall. We've already had our yearly rainfall, 6.6 inches this October. We're more than 50 inches for the entire year. Don't know the exact number, but we're more than 50 inches. Time change, Halloween rainfall, timing is uncertain. Let's hope we don't have any severe weather. Race for the Cure. It never rains on Race for the Cure, if I have anything to do about it. Thanks for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.